Better Hit the Mat podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 13. Unlucky for some, but never unlucky for us, of Better Hit the Mat podcast, allegedly a fitness podcast. And we are here with you as ever, and we will start in the normal fashion.
Yes.
Gentlemen, welcome.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good to see you, boys.
Now, I was going to cheers differently, but I'm saving this for a bit later on. But in honor of previous shows, I'm just going to unscrew the lid here. I thought I'd use my growler today.
Ah, that dirty, smelly
growler.
growler.
Placement there. I better turn that away.
Nobody tell Heather.
Terrible.
Nobody tell Heather. She'll be giggling all the way back to the brewery.
Are we all good?
We are. And you?
You're
How are
great.
you?
I'm feeling left out because I don't have a matching t-shirt. But other than that, I'm really well. I got my,
Yeah.
got my tacos t-shirt on.
Ah.
And I have to say, Ryan, your new tat is popping on camera.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
right.
Looks
Yeah,
good.
it sure is.
There it is. Is that some sort of Illuminati thing? What is that?
Yeah. I was
Yes.
thinking.
Yes. It's. I'm part of the Illuminati. Obviously, it's what all of us get to let everybody else know that we're in it.
That's right.
No, it's.
I think that's a smart move.
Yeah.
Makes
It's the Alchemy Index. It's from my favorite band, Thrice. They did
Ah,
a 4 series of albums: Fire, Water, Earth, and Air. And then they did songs that reflect that element. And it's just kind of been one of those things that I've always dug. I love graphic design, and I just think it's just a hella cool symbol.
that's
So I
cool.
went with it. So
Nice.
It's very cool. Do you not worry though? I mean, you know, you do see those like comedy tattoo things. And obviously, the fixers have become quite big business recently. Have you checked those guys out, like their personal lives? You know, there's no skeletons in the closet. That one day you're just going to find out there was a dungeon and
I cannot wear that.
maybe, man. You know, I continuously go through that, especially in music. You've had a big, not to get too into it, but you've had a real big thing with like the Me Too movement. And a lot of musicians have been outed, and you start to think, and it's like, some of these people that people have idolized. Don't tell me that David Bowie wasn't a cunt. He did some bad shit,
Hey,
but
I'm
he
telling
just
you right
did it
now.
before there was social media.
I'm telling you right now, if I'm riding down the road and Michael Jackson comes on, I'm cranking that shit.
Right.
That's
Michael
the
Jordan.
demand.
Michael Jordan is a well-documented dickhead. Yet he is one of the most respected individuals of all time. But if he was playing in today's environment with social media, he'd be on blast all day, every day, between his gambling habits, his infidelity. So
Mhm.
I think you have to separate the artist from the art so often. I have to do that on plenty of things with DDP yoga, when it comes politically, or where we stand on certain issues. So you kind of do that. So yeah, you kind of hope for the best, but honestly, most of the people in Thrice have a long career. They're 20, 22 years into this. Been pretty good, pretty well respected, and they're just fantastic musicians. So I'm good with it.
I mean, that's
So.
why I stopped with the whole tattoo thing, because after the whole issue with my Jimmy Savile tattoo, that's one for the Brits. I'm not going any further. Right. So, last week's show.
Was that next to your Bill Cosby tattoo?
So much worse. Google it. So,
Oh, I know Jimmy Savile. Actually, I knew the reference. I was pretty happy about that.
okay, right.
Ouch.
Yeah, that might get edited yet. We'll see.
Transition.
So last week's show, so that blew up. I mean, we kind of expected as much, but I think we've had quite the hell of a lot of downloads for a start, and then obviously the real marker is that we get the feedback, and people have been verbal. And also something I've noticed a lot, actually said this to Hayden, is like, if you can get the stats, I'd be really interested to know how many Hayden workouts were done in the last week as opposed to the normal amount. Because
Oh yeah, everyone was posting. I did a Hayden workout. That's all I saw for the days.
His mentions on Instagram had to have gone through the roof. It wasn't just that Burn the Boats fitness guy this week. I guarantee it. I had no bullshit. I had like 7 different people reach out to me. I mean, we're recording 3 days after that episode dropped, and I've had 7 people reach out to me and be like, they've tagged me or messaged me directly and said, yeah, I did a Hayden workout, or I did that 6:25:19, or doing Gator Country today.
Yeah.
And I had somebody else say, hey, I did all 3.
Whoa.
And I'm like, wow, all right.
Nice.
You were scared to do a Hayden workout, and now you just knocked out 3 back to back to back, man. That's cool. But yeah, you had talked about the response. Our numbers, they're the highest. The highest viewed episode on our YouTube channel. It surpassed our original episode, which was hell, 26 weeks ago now. And the watches, they're at like a 3-to-1 rate compared to a standard, or the listens are at a 3-to-1 rate compared to a standard episode. So it's really, really big, and the number of shares we got. I mean, it helps that he's so significant in the community. He's an instructor. He's on the app, and obviously he kind of has his own thing going. But man, it's I think the reach has been really big. And the one thing that we kept hearing is, I've heard the story before, but I haven't heard it from him. And so, yeah.
Well, I think also with the DDPY community, especially, you say he's got to do something as well, and obviously there was a big community around when everything was being put online. But the thing about the DDPY community is you get like generations of people coming through. So like some of us represent one of them, and then there was the old guard, and then there's the new guard, and then there's these little groups you see coming up. So a lot of people, it's sort of almost become legend for some, so they wouldn't have had a chance to hear the whole story. As usual, we've got some of that feedback lined up for you. So, Travis, who have you got?
All right. I have Lee James Whitehouse. He's a regular over at the Sham Fam. He said, awesome podcast. Great to see Hayden and hear his story on here. Tearjerker for sure. And Ryan, as soon as Travis announced the Reeps Peeps cruise, we shouted in unison, I'm on a boat with you. Audio wasn't so bad either, Boz. Roots, baby, roots. And then we have the
Hang 10.
Hang 10.
I told him
this is the Hang 10.
Yeah,
lose the thumb, dude. We're not surfers, and metal is that way around. Okay, you can
actually
do that, but seriously,
he gave us "I love you." Is that "I love you"?
Super.
Actually, this is a surfer. This is a surfer right here.
what's
Yeah.
that then? I don't even
That's
know
"I
what
love
that
you,"
is.
isn't it? I love you.
This is like I have no idea.
This is Superfly all day.
Superfly. Oh, speaking of questionable pasts,
Yes.
let's talk Snuka.
Oof.
That dude murdered his wife, his friend's wife, his friend's friend's wife. Still
Coming off the
signing
top
autographs,
rope, right?
Still
He came
signing
off the top
autographs.
rope.
Stayed on that indie scene for years.
There's a little comment bit on the end there. It's a metal detector. It's a metal detector. I just came up with that. So Tom and Travis, do you know what the Roots Bloody Roots reference is?
No idea.
Metal detected. Sorry, it's because I referenced Sepultura.
Sepultura.
Yeah.
probably the
Sepultura.
most-
Oh,
Yeah,
I know
one
the
of the
band.
most
I don't know the
popular
reference.
songs as they went back to their sort of ancestral roots, which are
Yep.
Brazilian, and they did these really tribal tracks, and one of them was called Roots, Bloody Roots.
Bloody Roots.
It's iconic. It's well worth a listen.
I actually saw them live in Germany in I think it was 96, I believe, 96, 97, something like that. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
That's
Pretty wild
pre-Roots
shit.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good album. Very good album.
Did you ever, Boz? Did you ever listen to Soulfly? Like what Max
Yeah.
Cavalera came up with afterwards? So really good stuff. A little more new metal-y, but still had that tribal drums and still sick, good guitar work.
There was some good
So-
stuff there.
He did some awesome work with Deftones too, man. Just awesome work. All right, so I've got one from Sam Abram. Says, I can't thank you enough for inviting Hayden to share such an emotional and inspirational story of his life so far. What a cool word, so far. He has always inspired me from the time he hashtagged do something. I recall how scared I was to do any of his workouts when I started DDPY. Now I do at least 3 a week, except for the red ones. I guess I've just challenged myself to step up.
Nice.
And that's cool. I also want to put and I couldn't find it, but on one of the millions of shares, he commented again that they watched the video a second time, but he watched it with his wife and I think his daughter. And they sat through and watched the whole episode again. And he's like, it just hit them all like a ton of bricks.
Mhm.
So just awesome. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, Sam's awesome.
One of the
Oh,
best
we didn't
dudes out
cheers
there.
Lee. Sorry, we do the cheers.
Oh,
feedback.
let's
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
Oh.
yeah.
Double cheers, yeah?
Double cheers.
Double
Cheers.
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 Sorry, Travis, I was not inferring that you're in any way not metal. I know you like it.
He's not metal. He's jam
I'm not
band.
metal. I'm jam man all the way, man. We can talk about. Yeah, We can talk about the Disco Biscuits if you want.
Yeah. He's like, hey, man, did you check out that new Bella Fleck and the Flecktones? It's off the chart. Victor Wooten just goes for days on the bass. Woo!
Hey, Victor Wooten is bad.
I can talk jam band. Let's go, my man.
Yeah, Victor Wooten's pretty bad.
He is so good. Ridiculous.
Is he bad or good? Which one is it, boys?
He's the best kind of bad.
That's right.
Just like if you look at his tablature for bass lines, it's another language. Oh, it's unreal.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What he plays is ridiculous. It's like lead guitar.
Yeah, he plays like simultaneous bass lines, crazy structures, all from one guitar. He's got like 45 strings.
If you've never heard any of his music, check him out. Victor Wooten. He is insane.
Cool.
Is he any relation to Wu-Tang or that? Sorry.
That would add to a street cred, but I think Wu-Tang would actually be very, 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 very big Victor Wooten fans, actually. So at least RZA loves him, guaranteed.
He's a lovable guy. All right, well, guys, I have some feedback here from Brenda Marie, and it says, as the saying goes, you can't have a testimony without being tested. Hayden's story is absolutely sad, how much one person have had to experience in such a short period of time, but it's also inspirational. Hashtag do something. So, Brenda, thank you for the feedback. Couldn't agree with you more. Cheers to Miss Brenda.
Cheers.
Contribution. And because we had so much, obviously, because I do all the waffle at the beginning, I don't normally have to read out feedback, but we had so much of it. I've got one as well this week. So this is from my buddy Steve Highland. Can't find a better way to say this than the way Boz summed it up. Oh, apparently. Followed Hayden and Laura's story on social media, and I heard him speak about it a few times. Every time it rips my heart out of my chest. But every time there is also a step forward. Every time the story ends at a new place. Watching this tonight, I just grinned at the end of the interview. Much love to Hayden and Lucy. Great to see you happy.
Cheers,
awesome.
indeed. What a way to wrap that up.
Yes.
Now, I did keep up most all the feedback about Hayden himself, but I want to say that we got a lot of comments, especially on YouTube, and a few messages through social media about Tom, about your segment, ripping into the multi-level marketing and boss bitches of the world. And their cleanse diets. I think that people like to see you just kind of go ham on that, man. Like, I think the science and the numbers are good, but they kind of just liked you being a bit petty too.
So it was fun to do, and that was the best part at the end, was just to let everybody know what the truth is. We're going to continue that today with another expose on fat loss pills. So stay tuned. We'll get to the end of the episode, and we'll make sure we cover that. You don't want to miss it.
Can't wait.
I'll
be honest with you. The hashtag boss bitch, I laughed. I mean, I rewound it. I backed it up and just watched it again. It was so savage.
All of us are gone.
Does that can we make that a drop, please? Like, we need that. Like, anytime something stupid said, you can just hashtag boss bitch, like, over top. Needs to happen.
I never get to see your guys' face when I'm doing everything because I have my screen up, which just has all my content. And I hear giggles sometimes. I hear, moving around. When I got to watch the episode and watch your guys' reactions, that was something I never got to see.
When we all grabbed our bellies, it was like, oh my God, it was hilarious.
Dude, it was, and I know I referenced it earlier, but it was so petty. It was so good. Who knew that Petty Tom, not Tom Petty, is my favorite?
I'm your favorite jam band.
Dr. Tom's new segment, Petty Tom.
Tom bitches about bitches. How about
that? Petty Tom and the Ball Breakers.
Hashtag boss bitch.
It's science, bitches. That's the first album.
I gotta bring that back.
All right, so we're gonna need Kenny Dunn. I need you to make a cover album.
Yes.
The cover of that album, please. ASAP.
I'll have it done in 30 minutes after the episode's done.
So I posted a pic today on Instagram, and Tina asked which month the picture is going to be on the Boys of the Better Hit the Mat calendar, and I told her that it's going to be February because it's the shortest month, and that the other 11 months have already been called by Tom. So Tom, I need you to put together 11 pictures so we can get that out in the world.
We'll get working on that.
Yeah, but July.
We'll do a full anatomy chart.
It's just that one picture of you flexing. They just changed the color of the background and you're in Mexico, Norway.
We'll make it for all the seasons too, and the holiday. Like there'll be a Christmas one, there'll be a Valentine's Day one. I'll be a beefy Cupid. That'll be great.
He's holding like that. He's just holding a pumpkin in October.
In the right places.
I think that would sell. We could sell that. So yeah, that wraps up everything with last week's episode. So we've got a jam-packed literal episode today. So Travis, you want to go ahead and introduce this week's guest?
Yes, sir. All right, guys. For many of you, these four, yes, I said four, need no introduction. You've seen their before and after pictures all over social media since December. And now we get the pleasure of hanging with them and talking a little shit. Please welcome Candi, Caitlin, Scotty, and Justin, also known as the Unstoppable Four. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers. Sorry, yeah, I saw that logo and I'm like, shit, got to do something with that. It's awesome. I love it, guys. And you've got t-shirts now.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Compliments to Justin.
Some of us have t-shirts. The post office sucks down here, so I don't have mine. Either that or they kicked me out of the group and they're going to have to redesign the logo that means. So
no, you're going to your mailman's going to roll over on Monday and be like, "No, I haven't seen this shirt." And it's going to be he's going to be wearing it.
Yeah.
Getting a stunner then, that's for sure. Well, it's got to be a diamond cutter in this case or I get in trouble.
Yeah.
I think you're contractually obligated to only give diamond cutters.
Oh yeah, it's only this or I'm in trouble.
Fingers out.
Yeah.
Don't upset Ryan.
And Scotty, that's you rocking out on that, right?
Yeah, man, it was my old band, Elysian Fields. We toured for about 8 years and stuff, but
Nice.
yeah, it was a fun ride. That was killer. Thank you for that.
Dude, you shred, man. That's like, so someone dropped a clip. I can't remember who. I think it was Justin.
Justin did.
I was like, holy shit, that's like right up my alley.
Hell yeah.
Like that. The shit slaps, man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. So welcome to the show, guys. Like, wow. Crazy to have this many people. This is like, I think the most guests we had was probably Justin, you and your wife together. That was probably the closest we've ever had. So this should be
It's
should be
kind of a
interesting.
2-first thing here. You know, the first time we've had multiple guests, and then we've had a return guest,
Yes.
Mr. Dobbins over there.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, he talks a lot of shit, but he was willing to come back a second time. So that says something, doesn't it?
All right.
Have you on everybody.
But-
This is awesome.
And it does mean if he steps out of line, I can just boot him earlier because they've seen him already.
Just
Can I just say-
digitize him.
Hey, good luck controlling the other three then.
And also, we mentioned on Justin's show that he'd made that flashlight, which he's put on the display board of weapons behind him, and lit it up for us. So I had a hunch something like that might go down. So it's stuck.
There it is. There it is.
I bought my flashlight too.
The broomstick is out.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Watch out. Watch out.
Scotty, I know you got more.
Oh, man. I got
Scotty's
one
got
tight.
like 5.
Mine's an actual oak. Mine's an actual oak shovel handle. So bring it, boss.
This is heavy grade polycarbonate. It would do pretty well actually.
And Boz makes noises, evidently. So
There it does. There.
Mine doesn't make any noise.
Until it hits you in the head, then
Just
it makes
every
noise.
time.
Yeah,
Only on
mine will make
impact.
a noise.
Just a return ouch.
The impact makes lots of noise.
Yeah, I had to bring that up because I know Scotty's a massive Star Wars head as well. So it's,
Oh, man. We're a couple minutes in. We got metal music and lightsabers. I'm good, baby.
All right, Star Wars head. Here you go. Here you go, Scotty.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love it, man. Bring it. Bring it. I'm going to go curl up in the fetal position and let some tears out after this and watch the ending of Mandalorian again. So don't worry.
Ooh, no spoilers. No spoilers. I'm almost there.
He was dead the whole time. My bad.
It's just my guys.
No spoilers. All right. Caitlin, when you watch, I need to hear from you like
Tonight.
immediately, though.
Literally happening tonight. I will text you.
Yeah.
Literally,
It's
we'll be waiting.
He takes the helmet off at the end, and it's actually George Lucas.
He's Luke's father. I'll spoil it. He's
All right.
Luke's father. There.
Yep.
Darth Vader's Luke's father. I'm sorry.
That means Dark
Oh, the
Father,
strip's
right? We
happening.
should have known.
The strip's happening. Hey!
There it is.
Oh boy.
5 a minute.
Woo-hoo.
Looking shirt.
I
Okay,
love it.
guys. So obviously most people know you from Positively Unstoppable 2. You guys were selected as the final 4. You've changed your moniker to the Unstoppable 4. The placement went Candi got first, Caitlin took second, Scotty and Justin tied for third. Hey Tom, what place is second compared to third?
5-year-old Tom even knows that 2 is higher than 3. But I'll talk to Justin about that later.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. I
Hey,
just wanted to make sure we got-
in my defense, look, I'm like the dumb jock who got there on performance only. So I didn't starve myself. My final weigh-in, I'm eating a bag of cashews, drinking an energy drink, walking up in my flip-flops and weighing in like some slob. So no starvation, no spray tan,
I almost died. Yeah, I almost did.
and I still got there. So
I was wondering
Let's-
how long it was going to take for that to come up.
Listen, I've seen Dallas wear that ego kills talent shirt, but I think Dobbins might be the inverse of that.
Oh, that's
So-
great.
So can you guys go? We can actually just approach it from the order in which I guess you finished. Give us a quick rundown of your intro into DDPY. It doesn't need to be. We don't need to hear the full story. Candi, how'd you get started?
I did a search for physical therapy exercises on Google because I was in a lot of pain. Like around this time last year, I have Hashimoto's, so the joint pain is like off the charts usually, and I had sciatica from an L4 herniated disc. So I had just gotten laid off of work because of COVID, and I decided I needed to try to get some kind of charge of my health. And so with all the pain and everything, I figured physical therapy would be the way to go because it helped my back in like about 8 or so years ago. Problem was there was no doctors doing physical therapy with patients because of COVID. So I looked on Google and I came across the Arthur Gorman video, and that was it. That was basically how I got started because I saw him and I thought, well, I'm not even like nearly in the shape that this guy is in. Like I can still walk. I'm in a lot of pain. But if this guy's running at the end, then I mean, I probably can, I could probably get somewhere with this. And I only had signed up for the Positively Unstoppable Challenge after like I seen it on the DDP Yoga website, and I thought, well, this could keep me in a routine because I've never been able to stick to any kind of fitness routine before. And so but it still took me like 2 weeks to make my mind up to do it. And I literally signed up like 11 p.m. on April 30th. Because I really didn't have any faith that I would stick with it. But then I just did it, and here I am. It's kind of crazy how it all turned out.
Awesome. And Caitlin?
Thanks.
So 2016, I got on the scale. Well, actually, end of 2015, I got on the scale and I hit 299 pounds. And I was like, nope, I will not hit 300. Like that was like, I just could not face myself hitting 300 pounds on the scale. I found it through Reddit. I'm a big Redditor. And so I had seen a couple transformations of people posting and like they had done DDP. And what really got me was like seeing that there literally is every ability level, like from literally laying in a bed to the chair to the mat, and that's kind of what pulled me in. And so, yeah, I started January of 2016. And I had some success with it, but I had also diagnosed with several autoimmune disorders, and so that really the diagnosis like slowed me down up until 2019 when I really started picking it up. I'm a very competitive person with myself, and so that was like a really good motivator to get me going. And so yeah, it just kind of took off from 2019 till now. Now I just do it every day. But yeah, that's what really got me in, was just not wanting to hit 300 pounds.
What a motivator.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So, Scotty.
Yeah, so it's kind of a weird monopoly of things. So I grew up watching Dallas and WCW, and always was my favorite wrestler growing up. And after he had retired, after going to WWE, we had no idea what he was up to after that at all. flash back about 9 years, me and my current love of my life reconnected at a wedding, and she was a yoga instructor. So she got me into the world of yoga. I really fell in love with everything that yoga brought to the table. And about a year and a half into our relationship, I had then found out DDP was doing DDP yoga. So I was just like, what a perfect marriage. So we went and met him years ago here in Chicago, just because I wanted to meet him in general. And that was pretty much it. I bought the program then. I found a lot of success with it at that time, and just kind of lost my ways over the years, put on a ton of weight, didn't care about health at all. And last year I was just like, that's it. Like, shit's got to change. So I just hit it as hard as I possibly could. And here we are.
Fucking hey, you're in Chicago, huh? Did you go to the workshop for All Out or any of that?
I did. Yeah, it was awesome. So quick, funny little side story to that too, is at that workshop, I was maxing out a 2X. I was too scared to go grab a 3X shirt. So I was always wearing 2X. And so I bought my first DDP yoga shirt there as a large. And I was like, I am determined to fit into this shirt. And it took me a year and a half to actually start doing it, but I can finally wear that damn shirt, which is awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm in South Bend area, so I'm only like 90 minutes out from there. So
yeah, for sure.
And then last but obviously not least, Justin, we kind of know your story, but you want to give us a quick rehash?
I got it back probably 3 or 4 years ago, the original YRG DVDs. And of course started losing my weight, jumped into it this last year in 2019, all through 2020, just kind of killed it. And here we are. So moved up to the app at the end of 2019 and bada boom.
Yeah. Now you're what, Mr. Local Fitness Celebrity himself, right?
I guess that's what flashed up there in the news article.
Great. Hey, not all of us get that little footer when we appear on television. More power to you, man.
Oh, love it.
So, Candi, you kind of already referenced it a little bit, but you kind of said that you joined Positively Unstoppable too because you thought it would keep you motivated. How about the rest of you? Like when you set out and you're gonna like, okay, I'm gonna start hitting this big, Positively Unstoppable 2 is something that I need to do. And did you even think that you could win it or be in a Final Four?
Well, I didn't think I was going to win anything. It wasn't even on my mind, to the point where I didn't even know what the terms and conditions of it were until like maybe a month before it was over. Because like I didn't want to disappoint myself by even reading it and then being like, oh, that's not going to happen anyway. So for me, it was just more to like, I have a bit of a competitive spirit in me, and I knew it was there, but it was just like buried beneath layers and layers of depression. And so once I started to see, like once I got into about the 3rd month, it really started to kick in like, hey, you might be in this. And that's when I started to actually become even more motivated and walk more and do more and actually see what I physically was capable of, which I didn't think I was capable of really anything when I started this. I just thought if I could just get some stretches in and maybe work out some of the pain, that would be great. But I didn't expect to actually lose any weight. With what I have, with the autoimmune disease I have, I've been told by doctors that I couldn't lose any weight. They said it's basically almost impossible because your metabolism slows so much. You'd have to eat almost nothing. And all these things just made me give up on the idea of weight loss to begin with. So when I saw 15 pounds come off the first month, I was like, oh, wow, like maybe these doctors don't know what they're talking about. And it actually motivated me to stick with it even more. But for me, the Positively Unstoppable Challenge was just a way to like get me into a routine, because I figured if I could stick with this for 6 months, because like I said, I knew I had some competitiveness in me. I know I would stick with it. Like I would definitely finish out the 6 months. Where I would be, I don't know. But I knew if I could stay with it for 6 months, it would build a routine that I could take and go into a lifestyle with. And that's exactly what happened. I didn't expect the rest of it to happen, but which was an amazing bonus. But yeah, it's been making the decision to sign up that day was literally one of the best decisions I've ever made for myself. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny you say maybe those doctors know what they talk about, or it seems like we hear that a lot, especially on this show. We've had multiple guests say the doctors told me you can't lose weight, and I think it's probably because they've tried to help so many people, and those people aren't willing to help themselves and actually do that work.
Yeah,
that they just become accustomed to saying, "Well, I guess you are where you are, and good luck." It's just like
it's an interesting. It's a very short side story. Before I got diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease, my doctors didn't even want to look into what was physically wrong with me, because they just assumed I had something mentally wrong, because I was having a lot of mood swings and whatnot. But I had a lot of different symptoms. They just focused on the mood swings, sent me to a psychiatrist. So over the course of six or 7 years, I was put on 10 different medications, 5 different mental disorder diagnoses. None of them were right. It was all my thyroid the entire time. And so that kind of like just, it really exacerbated all the depression, because I had childhood trauma and whatnot that led into like my adult trauma, basically compounded with like all these mental diagnoses and all these medications that just really took it out of me. So it was a hard road to get to where I got to, but that's what I'm saying. Like with the doctors, everybody should get like even a third and fourth, opinion at this point, because I don't know, like the doctors just don't. Some of them just don't really pinpoint what your issue is, without like doing the extra work, the extra tests and whatnot. So,
absolutely. And Caitlin, when you signed up, what were your thoughts?
So I had done the 2019 challenge to some success. That was like, I had just started to regulate all my autoimmune stuff. And so I actually had the opposite of like, I had a really fantastic rheumatologist that I love. And she was like so supportive, and she kept saying like, how are you moving? Like, what can I do to support you in that? And so I lost about 30 pounds in the 2019 challenge. And so for me, it wasn't just that like, oh, I didn't win, but it was like, I had this much success. How much farther can I push myself the next year? Because I made the choice to post every single day on Instagram and Facebook and track every day like my progress and stuff. And so I really wanted to have something that was keeping me accountable. Like I didn't care if anybody else ever saw it. I didn't care if I got a like or a comment or whatever. It was just so that I was holding myself to this, that I was doing this every day, that I knew if I missed a day, like that was going to be problematic. So the 2020 challenge, like so I'm 31 now. I'm heading into my 30s. I wanted to, be better for myself. And really, so I think the 2020 challenge was like, this is it right here. Like, and with the start of COVID, it, in my case, was beneficial in the sense that I work and live on a college campus. And so the campus shut down. There's nobody here. The whole place is empty. And so it became my running track, my yoga studio, like the whole space. So I was really excited. So like, it was really good, like a solid start for me. And that's kind of what brought me to this challenge. I mean, I never thought like, oh, I could win this. I just was like purely grateful for the wins of like my physical, mental, emotional well-being, which was really like the most important for me, was to get healthy for the long term.
Absolutely. And Scotty?
Yeah, so I didn't even know that there was a Positively Unstoppable challenge. I wasn't a part of the DDP Yoga Facebook group or anything. And at the beginning of 2020, because I had always, told the missus all the time, all right, this is the day I'm going to start. And it's just, you get good for a day or two and then you fall off, and vice versa, And so she told me at the very, very beginning of the year, which I completely had forgotten about because I just thought there was no hope. But she said, hey, you should look into this. Like DDP's doing this with the DDP yoga and stuff. And I totally dismissed her at the beginning of the year. And she was trying to be really supportive and helpful to, hey, do this and be accountable, like maybe this will get you going. March rolled around. Something had changed where I just, for myself, said, I'm going to change this. And I started my own path, didn't join the group yet. And when I finally broke 200 pounds, which was the first time I'd been below 200 in like 6 years, I finally seeked out the group, posted my picture on there and said, hey, if this helps anybody, I'm happy about this. I hope this is something for somebody else. And once I put that out there, Pat and Sean had reached out to me. So I, kind of talked with them a little bit, and they were like, hey man, you should really join this challenge. And I was like, holy shit, like I totally forgot this was a thing, because now I'm like going back to when the missus had told me about it. So that's what got me back into it. And I went and told her, I was like, oh, this is so crazy. Like I'm doing this thing. And she's like, yeah, you idiot, I told you about that already. And I was like, oh, I totally forgot. And so there we were. Well, thank God I was backtracking and already tracking my progress and stuff too. So I was, doing it for months before I'd actually signed up.
Yeah, I remember seeing that post go in the group, and that just blew up. Like everyone's like, "Holy shit!" And you literally just kind of came out of nowhere. And it's so funny how that works though, because like you'd said, you just put it out there like, "Hey, I did this. Maybe it'll help you do it too." And the thing that I really liked is so often we see these posts coming in the group, and they have these amazing results, and everybody comments and asks questions, and you just kind of the person that posts it kind of ghosts them. doesn't answer everything, but I think you went through like almost everything. If there's a question, you did your best to answer it, and like that right there is like, okay, the kid's the real deal. You know, the minute you see that, because it's not an ego boost. It's you are literally trying to reach other people, and that's like the one thing I will always give Justin. Justin, somebody asks you a question, even if they don't, you know, you're in there offering everything you can. And it's usually with a take it or leave it, I don't give a shit attitude, but I still love it. So.
Totally.
And usually just ends with do the fucking work.
So Dobbins, you signed up and then forgot and then won.
Man, I signed up like the initial sign up. Like I filled out the initial paperwork and thought I'm going to do this. And the more I thought about it, I was like, no. And then I actually popped up on my memories about 4 days ago where I said, look, I signed up, but I'm not doing this because I'll be too wrapped up in the competition and I'll lose track of what I need to do. So I don't need your competition. I'm already positively unstoppable, and kind of did I'm going to win without being a part of it. And so I did that, but then I did continue posting because, you know, like you said, I want to help if I can. And I kept charting my progress. And then, of course, I get this call that says, hey, could you sit down with Dallas on this day? And I'm like, sure. And he goes, hey, you won third place. You had to win something. And I'm like, okay, great. But it went off my old application. And so, I mean, I'd entered technically. And that's the whole discrepancy. Like, I get tired of getting hate mail going, you should have won. I shouldn't have even been there. I didn't do the homework hardly. You know, I'm the dumb jock who showed up there as for performance. So they're like, hey, go ahead and give him a C so he can play tonight. So,
hey man, you can't, you can't blame him from a marketing standpoint, dude. The virality of it all. I mean, you want a holy shit image. That's where it's at, and it is what it is. But in the end, you're here, and you have to join us again. Hey, so.
I'm not disappointed with it. You know, I did do the work. I busted my ass. I earned it. But, you know, Candi and Caitlin really did do the work and did the documentation. And they really did come down to that at the end. I mean, I don't know how many times they told us that.
I'm convinced that with Candi, I'm convinced that you went over the top purely because your before and after shirt had a Slayer shirt. That's what it is.
I'm telling you, I had no
because
idea.
Everybody Instagram's like, oh, I'm picking the Slayer chick. Oh yeah, it's the Slayer chick. Slayer chick wins. Yeah, it's the Slayer chick.
And then people are like, do you still have that Slayer shirt? And I was like, oh my god, it didn't fit me well before. It really doesn't fit me well now. Like, I'll get a new one.
Yeah, it's just it felt like every third comment was like, oh fuck yeah, Slayer, rain blood, like every single comment.
There's a gif of one guy like yelling Slayer, and I swear every time I posted there would be at least 4 or 5 of those. It would make me laugh every single time.
Is that a thing in the States as well?
Oh yes.
Yeah,
but you know what?
It's just like here, we were just walking down the street one night in Leeds, which is in the north somewhere, just irrelevant, and none of us, I don't think any of us were wearing metal t-shirts, and this guy just walked past us at 11 o'clock at night, and he just went, Slayer! And we just went, Slayer! And that's just a thing. That happens.
Yep. That guy didn't own a single Slayer album. Yeah.
No.
There's a special bond with metalheads where you just get it. It's the same in the horror community. When you see other people wearing like horror t-shirts and shit, like there's an unspoken love there that just connects.
There's this thing of like really niche t-shirts at horror festivals is a thing now.
Oh, sure.
Here anyway. And people are just making them because they're like, this is a really cool reference I want people to get, but no t-shirt manufacturers actually making these.
It's like you got to show how underground you really are. Like you never saw that film. There was only 2 copies made, and only 3 people have seen it. You've never seen it? Yeah. So Justin, you just talked about the call with sitting down with Dallas and everything. How'd the rest of you guys find out that you've been selected?
Yeah, we were all notified the same. Yeah.
Yeah, and then what was your were you like, holy shit, this is happening, this is real? Like, I mean, did they let you know right away your placement?
Yeah, it came it was a pretty surreal situation because we had all had, a quick call with Steve and, a handful of others and stuff. And then when they had reached back out and Grizz was like, hey, we're going to get something set up and, we just want to do a follow-up. It's like, all right, cool. Sounds good, man. Like, it was great talking with you guys. So that'd be cool. And Steve was like right on. He goes, hey, we're going to bring Dallas in. Like the first thing he said to me. And I was like, what do you mean we're bringing Dallas in? So I was already just like, holy shit, man, what's going on? And then yeah, we talked for about 30 seconds and he pretty much laid it out there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They got Candy's reaction, like in Candy's recent video that they just released. You saw her, like when he said, "Hey, you want?" They did that with all of us in the call. So when those videos come out, they'll have that reaction. And Candy's amazing.
And
Hey, what's up, man?
You.
Man, you're the man who changed my life, though.
Well, I was the guide. You put the work in.
Yep.
And there's 4 people here that are so, like, everybody has this amazing physical transformation. And then I got to look at the next thing. Like, do they have a mental transformation? That's what, Positively Unstoppable, is all about. That's what I got to tell you. You're number 1.
What?
You're number 1. You are the winner of the Positively Unstoppable Challenge.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm not expecting.
Oh, sorry. That's awesome. You're the winner.
Dude, you have made my life. Seriously.
Yeah, the reaction they forgot Billy's reaction when you came walking out all vamped up in your dress after you'd had your photo shoot. He was just like, they should put that in your video.
Yeah, that would have been awesome, actually. But it was funny because Billy, my husband, had not seen that because he was in the other room making dinner when I got on with Dallas. So he actually got to see the reaction, which was cool. But it was funny because Dallas kind of led up to it. I still, at that very point, I still thought like, oh, maybe I'm a finalist. Like, that's all I thought, I was like, they're not going to bring Dallas in just to tell me that like, hey, nice job. And like, see you later. But I knew that. So I figured, oh, maybe I'm like 3rd place or something. Like, I didn't think I never crossed my mind because I just never had that kind of faith in myself. So, he went through the whole thing just like he did in that video. And when he got to the end, he was like, and it was you. And I was like, what? Like, really? And then I just lost it because I couldn't even believe it, it was amazing. I just really like, it's still right now, kind of chokes me up because it's just, I still can't believe it happened.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That moment was magical to see that reaction. It was seriously incredible.
Yeah, it was still like one of the most unbelievable things. Like, just the fact that Dallas came on the screen was unbelievable. Because like I've watched him since I was a kid. Like, he was my favorite, one of my favorite wrestlers. Really, like, I mean, mostly because I loved Smells Like Teen Spirit. I love Nirvana, so hearing him come out of that, I was like, and he was just so cool. Like, he was a rock and roll dude. So to me,
guys, that was self high five. That was not Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Oh, I know.
Legally required to say that.
Sorry, yeah. So it was like
the difference is reversing the C and G sharp.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, and he also says self high five. I mean,
it reminded me enough. It totally reminded me enough that I would be like, oh,
no, it totally was, and they basically lost a lawsuit for it. So yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
They lost a lawsuit for that, and then what? Even flow for Ravenstein.
Yeah.
So
right.
But David Bowie and Vanilla Ice can't figure that one out still, right?
No, not at all.
It's all about the Stings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Sting used to come out to Seek and Destroy, so I don't know how that like went.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, eventually because Megadeth was involved with WCW for a while. Like, they actually performed on a few different Nitros, and like Dave Mustaine was a big WCW mark. He was good friends with Eric Bischoff, so a lot of that music got licensed through. So same thing with Kiss, same idea. So, so then, you guys hear from Dallas, your placement. How does the whole thing happen where you guys end up like out of nowhere? Dallas posts a thing over Christmas, and there's 4 people, everybody in the community, pretty much recognizes, and then some really fancy looking Santa Claus. And so how do you guys end up at the PC? Like, how does that all happen? Like, I know you guys had to do a COVID test.
When they announced the finalists, I know my messages were like, I know you're there. Caitlin was too.
Yep.
Weren't you? When they announced that the finalists had been picked?
Yeah, I got a couple of those from maybe some people in this room.
Well, yeah, Caitlin tried to keep that shit on lock, but it wasn't happening.
Listen, there was a check involved. I was not saying nothing. I was not putting that on the line. I literally was like, I don't know what you're talking about, and kept about my business. I didn't say anything.
Nice.
Yep, that's it. That's all that was said. Nothing else was said.
It was really fast though. Like they told, I don't know about the rest of them, but when they told us, and it was like, yeah, we'll see you in a week. I am literally like, my knees started sweating, and I literally got off and was like, we have to do things. I need to buy clothes. 'Cause I don't have anything that like does fits because I've lost this much weight, and I'm panicking trying to get stuff together. And I felt like I blinked, and then we're in Georgia, and I'm in the lobby of the hotel, and Scotty's standing in front of me, and like it just happened so quickly. Like all of a sudden, it was like you're there.
That's amazing.
I ran
it was
outside
quick.
the hotel.
Yeah, I saw Justin, and I was like, I turned to my husband, and I go, I think that's Justin. And I was like, I'm going to go introduce myself. I don't want to be weird, but I just feel like I need to go introduce myself. And then he stood up, and I like,
It is Justin.
It's so funny. Like
way taller in person.
Boz, you had mentioned like the different generations of DDPY, and like you have your legendary status earlier. And when we were at the summit, we're all kind of standing out front. Everybody's kind of waiting for the first workout to begin. And Vance pulls up and parks in the parking lot, even though we were told not to park in the parking lot. Vance, you dick. And he gets out of his car, and because I mean, there are literal hundreds of people. And somebody goes, "Is that Vance?" And everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, that's Vance." And they're like, "No, that's not Vance." And I said, "Hey, Vance, how the fuck are you?" And he goes, "Good, man." Like, he's a dude. Justin Dobbins is a dude. Yeah, he's a tall dude, but just a dude. So just wait till we all get together at the next summit, whenever the hell that is. You guys are all going to have your own little celebrity status.
It's going to be messy.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's awesome. And so when you step into the PC, first thoughts. You guys were there. I mean, we've been there with a little bit different, but you guys are there where it's pretty much just the four of you and a few other people, right?
Our spouses were all there too. I kept hitting my husband like in the arm because I was like, "It's happening, but like they're on." We walked in and they were filming us the entire time, and we didn't know that was going to happen. So you can see, that footage will never be shown because we walked in and we're all like, "Hey," like it's really awkward. We're just not ready for it.
Yeah.
But to like walk into like, oh my gosh, there's like, you see the room and it's, oh my gosh, and there's that, oh, there's the kitchen, and and to see all these things, and it's just like one after the other. Like it was so crazy to like take that in, and just like absorb the moment.
I think it was weird for me. It was twofold because I did all the workouts I did in the beginning were the live PC ones. Because I wanted to do like I was mostly doing 50-minute ones, and so that's like I started with like energy and stuff, and I was like, I want to go a little harder, so I started doing those, and then the jacked workouts came out, so I started doing the jacked ones. And so when we went to Dallas's house, we went downstairs and saw where they were doing the jacked workouts. I was like, holy crap, this is like where they do jacked workouts.
This is the jacking room.
Yeah.
Please, the basement tapes. The basement tapes. Who likes to
that doesn't make it any better.
Random side thing, like,
keep the UV light out of there.
Random funny side thing, like I told my father I was telling my dad about the jack straps, and he goes, "Jock straps?" And I'm like, "No, jack straps."
Yeah. I just ordered 4 jock straps, put them on my legs, put them on my arms.
Man, you're equipped.
Oh, jeez.
That's
Scotty,
awesome.
that nearly cost me then. I nearly spat red wine all over my computer.
We'll try again.
So how was the Christmas party? Looked like you guys had a grand old time.
Yeah, awesome. I want to know, like, we've seen so many videos over the years of Dallas, like, oh, look, it's October 2nd. Let's start getting the Christmas decoration down. Is it as mad as it looks on camera?
I thought I walked into Macy's. I was like, whoa, what the hell's happening here? Like, I mean, I love Christmas. I mean, I do more Nightmare Before Christmas, but I do love traditional Christmas. And me and my husband walked in. Well, first of all, the cab driver that we got like dropped us a little bit past the house. So we were like trying to figure out which house it is. I'm in like 5-inch heels. I've never worn 5-inch heels in my life. So I'm like, am I walking the right way? And we were like, is this the right house? And all of a sudden, the first thing I see is DDP spelled out in mats. And I'm like, oh, this is the house. But yeah, you walk in and it was like Christmas exploded but it's just in the most incredible way. Like he had so much stuff, but like, it was amazing. I mean, it was hard to even talk because I walked in and he was right there and he's like, Candi! And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't even met this guy yet. And he's like, he's already like, we've been friends for years, but that's how cool he is. That's what's like so amazing. I mean, you guys know, obviously, like, that's what's amazing about him. He's such a personable guy. You don't feel like he's a stranger. Like, I walked up and it was like I knew him forever. So,
yeah, that was really the coolest thing about that too. I mean, he was at the door greeting everybody, and you know, it wasn't this kind of off-putting thing where it's just like, hey, you're privileged to be here. It was very much like, hey guys, like, Scotty, what's going on, dude? And like, shoot the shit for a minute. And it's just like, hey man, make my house your own, do what you guys want, man. Like, my house is your house. It was a very warm, inviting feeling, and it set the tone for the entire weekend, like right off the bat. So it was really cool.
Yeah, no, awesome. I'm from the Midwest, so we were there 15 minutes early. And so we walk in and there's nobody. It's like his family's getting the party ready. So Elise and I walk in, sit down, like we're just sitting there on the bench in the entry and just sitting there. And then he walks through and starts talking to people and we're still sitting there. And then he turns around and we make eye contact. And that's when I got my greeting. But yeah, we sat there for about 20 minutes, just like, oh, okay.
Nice.
It was
All
funny
super awkward.
When we walked in, my husband goes, "You did this. Look what you did." He says to Dallas and points to me, and Dallas goes, "Well, you're welcome."
Well, you know, to piggyback a little bit, to go back when you first met Justin and to where you guys have built your relationship now, which is awesome and brought you guys together. Apart from that, what did you think would be your biggest takeaway from the trip down to Georgia?
I mean, yeah, like I said, I know you just said don't talk about, but like this group, y'all, like this right here, the Unstoppable Four, is like what made that trip. Because like even at the Christmas party, like we don't know anybody else, right? Like, and so we're all kind of huddled in one room, you know, so we got to know each other, and then we got to work out together. And you know, I don't live near anybody else. I live up in Connecticut, and so like getting to even like do workouts with, you know, the first time I did it with Justin and then Elise, his wife, and then the next night I did it with all of them, and it just like to have those bonding moments and getting to experience stuff in person, you know, also to see people in person was cool because I haven't done that since, you know, February of last year. So, you know, to see people was also amazing. But yeah, it was so motivating, like to come and to feel like I did something and this is what came of it, and like, and to take that away and have like such a sense of purpose coming out of that was, I think, was my big thing. Is like I felt so reinvigorated that, you know, I got home, and the morning I woke up after I got home, I journaled. I think it was like something like 30 to 40 pages. I wrote my entire experience, which typically I literally write like 2-3 pages. But like, yeah, I sat there until my hand like was cramped up because I just had so much to like get out of my system, and it was, yeah, that was what made it for me.
And Scotty, how many pages did you write?
It's a great question. I got it all up here. I share stories with a lot of people. It's all up here.
No, that's
notes.
You said about working out with your peers, and there's like the thing about DDPY. A lot of people find it in isolation. They do it at home in front of the TV. They get results, whatever. But like when you go to a live class the first time, that's something. But when something like, I mean, for us, it's Summit is the only thing I can compare it to, where you sort of know people but you've not met, but suddenly you're in a room full of people who they get it like you get it, and the energy is there, and it is electric, and it can't be described. It's just
you're fucking amped. Like, yeah. Your heart rates are through the roof.
Yeah.
And like you're like, for the first time, you're counting louder than you've ever fucking counted. Like my personal max of 10 count push-ups was at the PC because I had that drive and that energy. Like I had to keep going. Yeah. And there's just something to be said for that place, that environment. And that's what it is. The PC is just a building, but the not the culture, but the environment that exists there. It's unreal.
That's his community. And I'd say the first workout at the PC was the night before Summit. Hayden did a burn class.
Hayden's was awesome.
Now, normally a burn class, I'll put in 700, maybe 800 calories on the app. At the end of that class, I burnt 1,200. And it was just like, yeah, I'm going to smash this.
Boz, that class, I changed my flight to make that class. And I'm working out next to somebody, and she looks at me, and she goes, "It's like really intense in here. What's going on?" And I'm like, oh, well, it's Hayden's first workout back. She goes, no, I've worked out with Hayden before. She's just somebody from the from local community.
Yeah, local, yeah.
And I was like, oh, tomorrow's the summit. These are all like people that are like really into this. She goes, yeah, I can fucking tell. I was like, well, I see you again. She goes, probably not.
I was just gonna say we did a workout with Dallas, and that was the same thing of like how jacked we all were. Like you could feel that energy in that room when we were all doing it together.
Yeah, I burned like 950 something calories on that workout. And I was like, how in the? I mean, I think at the time, and then after when they did the actual like reading of the numbers, it was like 1100. And I was like, how did I even burn 200 extra calories in that like 5 minutes? It was crazy because it was just we were all so pumped, but it was. I mean, and again, like you said, I've never counted as loud as I counted that day because I was like, I don't want to get yelled at by a Dallas. Like, I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah. You got to sell that safety zone.
Oh,
yeah. 10 count.
And don't be the one to screw up either whenever he does. Did he do Dallas Says with you guys?
Yes.
For those of you at the Chicago workshop, when we were doing the Dallas Says exploding knees, the first fuck up was me. Because me and John Ray were trying to do them from calf raisers. And I slipped and fell. And he looked at me and goes, wait the fuck up. I'm like, what are you going to do?
No, the Dallas Says.
Oh, so scary.
He quit watching me after the first 7 times I fucked up during Dallas Says. He shifted his gaze this way because I'm like, I'm doing it.
I hated that Diamond Says so much from just the live workouts that I like sat there and I listened to him because I was like, I don't want to have to do it again, but we ended up doing it again.
I miss those because teaching on Zoom because of the delay and internet connections, and that's all we can do now. I was appropriating it. Coordinate Boz says it's one of my favorite things to mess around with people, and it's just like I nearly did it yesterday. I went, no, I can't do it to you. It's not fair.
It's a 75-minute workout, all punches because nobody's.
That's awesome.
And it's always Travis. It's that internet. No, I'm just.
So,
really good.
Justin, we kind of know where you're headed with the program now. With you said that this year you're going to really hit certification. What would you say the other three of you? Where do you think you're headed with this?
I'll go ahead, Scotty.
Oh yeah, I'll be quick. Really kind of forming this whole Unstoppable 4 thing has really been like the greatest reward of this because I never cared about my health like ever to this extent. I've been up and down with weight multiple times, but I've never put this much attention to detail. I've still, since March 9th of last year, I have not missed a single workout, which just goes to show how much I've changed and how much I care about this, to the point where yesterday, and I was telling them yesterday, I had a crazy day yesterday working on film edits with my buddy and stuff. I woke up at 6 a.m. just to get an hour workout in because I knew if I didn't and that day got ahead of me, there was that possibility that I might mentally not push myself to do it. So I got up extra early just to make sure. So doing this and being able to have this great relationship with Candi, Caitlin, and Justin, and all 4 of our journeys coming together to where we're all in the same pot of wanting to help other people is really where this has brought me. And it's just an honor and a privilege to be able to do this with 3 other people that are so like-minded and wonderful people that you really
wonderful.
Wonderful. And I guess going back to kind of like that horror and metal community bonding thing, it's just when you meet other people that you've gone through that same journey, in a sense, there's an unspeakable thing that's there. And all 4 of us clicked in a really special way with that. So I'm just really looking forward to what we're going to be doing together moving forward and just setting new goals for myself just to push forward with fitness and health and stuff. So I'm super stoked with what's coming.
I just wanted to add real quick that, I was struggling last fall a lot mentally, and I'd posted about that. And one of the things that really helped me when we got down there was bonding with these other 3 was it kind of put closure to my weight loss goal. And I was able to bond with people that are in the same boat, because we're all just about there at the end of our weight loss, and now it's going to be carrying it forward. I know everybody still has a little bit more to go, but it was really good to connect with folks that have been in that positive journey, and that really clicked something up here, and it's been amazing. Since then, it's like, okay, there are other people out there, and then how do we take this forward? So that's what I took away from Atlanta the most.
Nice.
I just wanted to add too, like bonding with these three has been one of the most incredible like prizes that I didn't expect to ever win out of this whole challenge. I didn't expect to meet three other people that I would connect so well with. And what was incredible was, for me, with all the baggage that I was carrying, I don't think I realized how much the mental baggage was weighing me down more than the physical was. And when I got up on stage and spoke with Dallas, and he had me basically like retelling my story in front of three people who like three of the most supportive people I've ever met, including, and then my husband and their spouses who are amazing as well. It lifted all of that off of me. And I lost 82 pounds. For the challenge, I lost 82 pounds. I'm down like 94 now. But that weight of the mental weight being taken off of me was like the most incredible thing. I feel so much lighter after that from between bonding with like these three that have become my family now and getting rid of that baggage. It was like I was reborn being down there. It was one of the most amazing things for me, just mentally and spiritually, that I feel like that came out of this. So it was just an incredible thing for me.
Nice.
Awesome. So what I was going to say is with the logo, like you've got your superhero patches now.
I don't.
And the branding.
It's in the mail, I swear.
They kicked me out. It's like Black Sabbath when they threw Ozzy out. I see what's happening.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Ronnie James Dio did just fine.
Yes.
All right, so who are you guys replacing me with? No, I'm kidding.
Tina. It's going to be Tina.
Well, it's not Dio.
Damn, Tina, always trying to come and get everybody's job.
Holy shit, you guys got Dio? Oh, yeah.
Tom
Soroka's the best.
No, I was saying about you have the superhero patch. You now have a badass video ident. Like the Unstoppable 4 is. Are you gonna move that forward and do something under the banner officially? I know you're allowed to talk about it if there's something in the pipeline.
No, I mean we're definitely trying to. I mean, I'm trying.
You talked about a contest the other night, right?
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of like it was just something that I had wanted to do for like ever since I thought I could was potentially going to be a finalist. Really, after that first meeting I had with the DDP people, and I felt like, oh, there could be a chance. I started thinking like maybe there's a way I could give back, because this has done so much for me. Obviously, I had no idea that it would end up where I was. So after coming to the realization that I won first, I said, I'm going to take some money and put it towards trying to help a few people out, because of the situation with COVID. Obviously, a lot of people lost their jobs like I did. And I know that, you can't really sit there and try to figure out like, oh, can I do a fitness program or can I pay my mortgage? So it's kind of like, I want to be that person that says, hey, like, you don't have that reason now because I'm going to give you, I'm giving you a subscription. But I just wanted to make sure that the people that, are trying to get it really want it and are really ready for this, So that's kind of why there's like the qualifications essentially for this challenge. And, I'm hoping that like I've come across some people who really do need the help. And then there's other things that I've put out feelers to different like media things to see, you never know what could come out of this whole thing. Because like the four of us really do have a very positive story. And with the situation going on right now, there's like literally nothing but negative news coming out of the media. So my feeling is there's 4 really positive stories here that could inspire people, and hopefully, something comes out of it. I didn't even realize they were going to do the video that they put out yesterday of my story. They didn't nobody told me that they were doing that. It just kind of came out and kind of shocked me. So, see where everything goes from there.
We kind of talked in Atlanta, and maybe when all this COVID stuff settles down, we kind of move forward and maybe try to do our own little pop-up clinics and get together in areas where people don't have to drive clear across the country. Maybe do them all over the U.S. Maybe invite some, some guest celebrities, instructors, wherever we're at in that area, to do a couple of pop-up workshops, some workouts, and get those people together to bond, because that bond is what really brought 4 of us together. And I think that's what makes it. I mean, yeah, you can bond online and stuff, but it was that personal connection to work out together that really kind of cemented this, and it really helped up here for me. You know,
Absolutely.
So that's what we'd like to move forward with this Unstoppable 4 is like, once this settles down, is maybe try to do something.
Well, we know a couple of those celebrity instructors. We can put in a good word for you.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Yeah. And a cluster of those celebrity instructors are in North Carolina, so might as well just do the first one in North Carolina.
Hey, do you guys know that Sarah Fortune chick? Can we get her possibly?
Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking. But
Might be her publicist. I can help her. Travis is way too expensive for you guys, so I volunteer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have a boat, he's not coming. So
That's right.
Oh,
he's going on a fucking airline jet one day. It's gonna be. Yeah, he's all over the place.
Sorry. Well,
you act like I can't build a boat.
He's gonna weld one.
The
Well,
U4 go down the Mississippi River.
We'll send you an
All volume versus displacement, baby. Volume versus displacement. That's it.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
yeah, we're moving DDPY to different modes of transport. I'm going to be the first to teach a class from a motorcycle. That's my goal.
There you go.
Reach out, grab the handlebar.
I'll pay for that.
And the first to call a class from a full body cast, apparently.
Yes. Which form of DDPY rehab is that? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that'd be breaking up a shitload of scar tissue right there.
do have a wet spot, so.
Level 6.
Yeah.
6.
You know, we have the new upcoming challenge. So the 3 of you, are you going to try to maybe do something with that?
Yeah, me and Justin are entering again.
Well, I was also going to ask you, Candi, can they have a returning champion? I mean, can you actually
be eligible,
get into the next one?
Oh, I don't know, but I'm definitely not. I mean, I'm good being on the I'm good being the cheerleader on this one. I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and I've tried to like help them, give them tips, and mostly like the most important thing that I've found from how I won was the documentation. And I didn't document it because I thought I was going to win. I really documented it because I knew that was part of what you're supposed to do for the challenge. And I said, well, I better do something, like, because I would hate to get to the end and have nothing. And that was the only reason. And it's really funny because like the picture, the video they put out yesterday, the first picture that they show is a still from the video that I took the first day that I started. But it was an accidental pic. It was like, when you think you're going to take a video, but you accidentally take a picture. So I sent it to them, not realizing they were going to use it. I was like, oh my God. But it does show though, like I really was like as hopeless and really just desperate at that point for anything to work that I could have been. And that's why it resonated with Dallas so much, because he saw that on my face and the workouts from that first week. Where I literally could not do a squat. And it's funny because when doing a squat was impossible. I hated doing squats. When I started getting to the point where I could get down slightly, when Dallas would start talking, I would be like, oh my God, this dude talks too much. I'm dying here, But then today I'm taking down like Christmas lights outside of the bushes in my house and I'm squatting for like 10 minutes straight and I'm fine. So it's kind of like unbelievable where it come from. But that's basically what I've been telling a lot of people is the documentation really is that important. Not just for the challenge though, it's for yourself. Because when I look at that now, I'm like, wow, I was that's how far down I had fallen. And the fact that I've come back up this far is really a miracle to me. So like, and that's also keeps me motivated to keep pushing too.
Yeah. Challenges aside, he's always said about the app, since the app came out especially, take your 6 pictures. If you're new to this, take your 6 pictures. I can't stress it enough. And the thing I regret most is not videoing my first couple of workouts. You'll be loath to because you're embarrassed. Fucking do it. Because when you refer back to where your flexibility was, where your strength was, it's just something else. It really is.
I wish I had more. I wish I had more content. Honestly, I asked my husband to take those videos and I was so embarrassed that I didn't, I like after a section, I would be like, all right, that's enough. I don't want to do anymore. And I didn't look at those videos until October, the 6 month, like about a week before I was putting the video together. I was like, all right, I guess it's time to look at these. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize how bad I was. And now I'm like, damn, I should have taken more.
It's funny you mentioned that they used that picture when they were putting together my transformation video. Nathan Mowry messaged me out of nowhere and he goes, hey, we're finishing up your edit. Just wondering if you have any like shittier pictures. What? And he's like, pictures where you don't look happy and stuff. I was like, no, I was always pretty happy. And he goes, okay, like, just like sometimes, the worse they are, the better it is. I said, yeah, I get that. But like, I don't know if people save those. Like, hey, I look like shit.
Yeah, exactly. I love that frown. Can we frame this as the best frown I've ever had?
And he goes, fair enough. I was like, all right.
I'm just lucky I was so lazy that I forgot that I just didn't delete it because I was like, whatever, And then I was like, oh, I have this horrible picture of myself, perfect, And like before they put the video together, Steve had asked me if I had any like childhood photos, and I was like, yeah, I scanned a bunch for the challenge because. Again, stupid me did not read the terms and conditions. I had put together like an hour-long video before I realized it was only supposed to be 3 minutes. And then I was like, oh my God, So I had all these pictures luckily scanned already. And he goes, well, do you have any that like where you don't look like super happy? And I was like, yeah, actually I do. Hold on. So it's kind of funny that you mentioned that.
You guys got any other advice for Positively Unstoppable 3 entrants?
Yeah,
here's the advice.
Caitlin, you go ahead, please.
Everybody's messaging me. Do the work, document everything. Do the work, document everything.
I think
I'm
Justin's
done.
tired of
Sorry.
getting messages.
I'm messaging them tonight. I know I'm Sue's office. I'm sending this.
Oh, I'll miss out on the usual dick pic. Sorry, Dr. Two.
Oh my gosh.
He pays me enough for him.
Caitlin, go ahead, please.
So obviously, as y'all know, I post every day and stuff, but like keeping track of all that's really important because I've noticed there's been an uptick of people posting media and stuff, but you also need to keep like all of that like organized and like, so I have a Google Drive. And so when they are asking, they call it the assets. So your like, photos, your video, your media, what do you got? And they asked me like, what do you have? And I was like, what do you need? I take anywhere between 5 to 50 photos / videos a day. You let me know. And so I dumped all of that in an organization. I'm very organized though. So I had a Google Drive and it's got like a month in the folder. So I track everything. And I literally just went, here's my Google Drive. And I just gave them the whole thing, which is like, thousands of pictures. I'm on day 381. So do the math of like how many I have and then videos and all of that. But also something I mean, I got asked, like Justin, I get a lot of more women, but I definitely get a lot of people asking questions. And so I actually created an FAQ video on my YouTube channel just to be like, so when I get that 1,000th question, I'm just like, here you go. And so like referring to that, which I posted and I'm happy to share with people again, but like I really answer all the same questions that I get over and over in that.
That's next.
I actually send them Caitlin's video.
No, that's horseshit, Justin. Justin, you need to make a video where you say, do the work, document everything, and then just fucking send it to him.
Yeah, it's like a tiny video.
We set him up a YouTube channel with the full
everything,
logo, everything. It looks amazing production.
One video.
There's one video, and it's 4 seconds long. That's it.
No, I use my Positively Unstoppable challenge quote that I put there. It's kind of a joke, but they really used it. So. Get off your ass, don't eat shit, do the work, and stay savage. So, awesome.
Yeah, there you go.
He had like one sentence. I had like an essay.
Yeah. You guys, you had mentioned that you're seeing a lot more uptick in, welcome to the new year. New year, new me. Everybody's tagging. Some guy is tagging his as Positively Unstoppable 3, and he spells unstoppable wrong. Dude, that's not how hashtags work. But do you guys have any front runners in mind?
Ooh, me.
Sam Alba Jr.
Okay.
My warrior women. I gotta give out my ladies a shout out. I mean, beast, right here, warrior women. So like we actually are starting a bigger group so people can be included, Ryan, if you want to feel included. But
I'm not a participation trophy kind of guy. Get out of here.
Well, no, we're gonna have some standards, so you might not make it. Well, we'll see. But
Smart lady.
no, but Tina Gaspard, Stephanie Trujillo, Kelly, Sam Sheets, and Melissa Gula-Wizinski, like all of them are fire. I wouldn't shut up at the PC about them. I have literally repped it so hard. And my other one, who is a kind of honorary warrior woman, is Jason Sparks Sr. Like, if he doesn't get his butt in on there, I'm just saying. I'm throwing all those people out there because I keep telling them privately, y'all, it's your year. Get your post, get your life. You got this. I'm repping them so hard.
Getting called out, Jason.
Who do you got?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Anybody?
good luck. I've got a couple savages in the weeds, and we don't talk. We're just going to show up at the end of it, and it's going to be nasty.
You asshole! You're supposed to say your wife. All right, Scotty.
Hey, I talked to her. She said no.
Come on, Elise, you got this.
Yeah,
we got to get Elise in there.
That's what
You
I'm
guys
saying.
talk her into it. She said no.
We just did. Let's go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Throw it
I've
out
got
there.
I got a handful of people that I'm definitely eyeing. I mean, like all of us, we talk to so many people kind of on the side in the groups and stuff, which is cool because it allows us to build relationships with other people. And I'm sure we've all got kind of our go-tos. And it's nice and rewarding when those people trust you and they want to come back to you to help give them a little boost of confidence, or if they're having a difficult moment, how to overcome that for the day. And, the people that I'm really most looking forward to seeing this year are the people that have the lifestyle change mentality, because that's the biggest thing that I always preach to everybody. It's great to get on a scale and see results, but the scale has always been my biggest enemy. So the people that actually say, I'm going to change my life and let the results follow that are the people that I'm always the most interested in talking to, because if you look at a scale every day, it can discourage you. And there's nothing against doing that. But I weighed myself 5 or 6 times over the course of the last 10 months now. And it's because I've been convincing myself day after day that I am changing my life for the long run. And I will just let these results fall in line. The real reward is taking control of your life again. So when I'm talking to people and that's what they're giving back to me, that to me is the most exciting stuff. And I got a couple of people that I talked to that I feel are on that bandwagon, which is awesome.
Gotcha. Boz, you got anybody?
I've been just in terms of the enthusiasm being put out there and the amount of posts. I'm going for Sam as well because I'm super impressed with what I've seen so far. So
okay. What about you, Tom?
I actually haven't been paying attention too much to it, so I don't really have any. I'm sorry. I haven't seen who's entered. I haven't seen a lot of those posts. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Travis?
I think Tina. I have to agree with Caitlin on that. Tina is definitely putting in the work. She's putting in the documentation, and she embodies everything that DDPY is all about. And also Jason Sparks, I have to agree with Caitlin as well. I mean, Jason's a go-getter, man. He's out there.
Yeah.
He's in the community. He's getting it done. He's worked the past 6 months, I believe, injured. And putting in the
doing
work.
a 3-legged dog with a boot in the air. Like, come on now.
Yeah. So the dude is absolutely incredible. And then not only that, just I mean, just all around, just good dude. I mean, so yeah, I'd like to see those two.
I think this year it's Tina's to lose. Honestly, I'm all you guys deserve to be here, but I'm really surprised she wasn't here. And I think a year from now we'll be talking to her. And she I think that it's her opportunity to force their hand and just have to choose her. But I also you stole my thunder with Jason, because I was going to say I think it's Jason has all the opportunity in the world because of his drive. His work ethic is second to fucking none.
Yep.
Right.
And he needs to jump in it. So, and then Elise, I mean, we got to get a different Dobbins to start talking about, please. Come on, guys.
And I joke about it, but I'm not doing it again. I know I've had a few people message me like after I joked about it on DPO. They go, "Are you fucking serious?" I'm like, no, I'm not serious. I'm joking. So I've got a plan drawn up. We're starting kicking the plan off for certification tomorrow. Like I drew it up like I did my nutrition plan, and we're shifting that into high gear tomorrow for Dobbins. So.
I think there's a lot of people though on the Facebook page that really could take it. There's just a lot of people, but I see Sam Alba Jr. put the work in every single day.
For sure.
And where he started from to get to where he's even at now, I mean, in another 5 months, I just think it's going to be impressive. And then there's Jeremy Landis, another great person that like he's been clean and sober for a year now, which is a big deal. And with addiction that's run in my family, to see somebody like, beat that impresses the hell out of me. And I think
I honestly wouldn't mind seeing somebody that has a big physical transformation, but more importantly, a mental transformation.
Yep.
Like, I think it's so hard to show that. You don't see that in a before and after.
Yeah.
And so, somebody even reached out and said, hey, can I do this from a mental aspect? And it might have been in Travis's Shamrock Fitness group. And everyone's kind of like,
it was.
You'll have a hard time winning, but yes, do that.
Well, it's funny because I've actually had like 10 or so people say to me, you've given me hope that I actually don't have to drop 100 or 150 pounds to win because you had the mental transformation that they saw. And that's and for me, it was a combination of both things. So it's definitely doable. You just have to, they need to see that dramatic change though. And that's really the hardest part. A lot of people don't want to put that on, they don't want to document themselves being depressed or just feeling at their lowest point, but that's actually what they need to see. It's one of the most important things.
They need that well-rounded package. Like my very first photos, which I never share, my 299-pound photos, which I will share once I hit my goal in a couple months. But like, I look depressed. I look miserable. I don't look like the same person, not physically, mentally. You can see it on my face. I am a ghost in a shell. Like, I am not there. And like, that is what, then Steve was saying, like, that's what mattered, right? It's that whole package. It's, yes, I had weight loss, but like, you can see how much happier and how much better a person I am for having this transformation mentally and emotionally.
And you can see that in most pictures as well. You see the change in the smile in the faces.
It's funny you mentioned that because somebody called out Justin's picture on his before and after. He goes, well, he looked happier when he was fat. And Justin's like, I didn't want to wear a fucking sweater.
Hey, I had overalls underneath that sweater, so I mean, it is what it is.
I love that was your reason you were pissed off. It's like the same shit. My son doesn't smile because I make him wear a button-up shirt.
We're talking about the mental transfer. Like, obviously, my wife did the Unstoppable Challenge and should get a medal for dropping 2 sizes. No, was it 4 sizes? I don't know. She dropped.
You better get that right, dude.
I really should, shouldn't I? I made the fucking video as well. You think I but she lost very little weight, like on the scale, and like her weight it's near like the start point. Yet she looks completely different. But the point of it was, she wasn't out there. She didn't go on social media. She's very shy. She didn't really share things with people. And in the course of her Positively Unstoppable Challenge, she taught over 200 classes. She's now I'm sorry, I don't care how many big males there are with big booming voices. Next time we get to the PC at a summit, we'll put a decibel meter in the room. My wife's the loudest fucking instructor you've ever heard.
Actually, I can hear her counting right now.
Yeah, like I hand over to her in a class, and I'm just like, earplug in? Seriously. But like,
I'm not gonna lie, I did my first Back on Track one the other day, and I had my headphones in. I'm like, dude, she scares me.
Exactly. I turned the TV down, like, because I blasted through the TV, and I usually am used to Travis, and he's like, it's cool, we're talking at this one, and I get on the Back on Track, and I'm like hitting the button trying to get it down.
There you go. So yeah, but that just in terms of her confidence and everything else, so it's this really big shift. But then you've got to put that in a 3-minute video at the end, and I'm the first like we completely failed at that. The other thing is like you say, when you're feeling like shit and you want to cry, I'm like, you've got to record yourself at that point. She's like, I can't. It just it feels exploitative. I can't do it. I can't put the camera on and go.
It is. That's marketing, man.
And, yeah, she couldn't do it.
It's all brand marketing, right? Like if you think about it from like your selling yourself perspective, like what are you selling, right? Like if you're looking at like to be really real, like people ask me all the time behind the scenes, I said, you got to market something. What is your angle? What's your brand, right? And so part of mine was like my eating addiction and my autoimmune stuff. And like, so there was literally at one point I took a picture because I realized I was on the mat and I needed to be, my husband has to physically assist me to get up because my autoimmune, I was having a really bad flare up and I was so tired I couldn't physically get out of safety zone, but I had to take a picture first. Right? Like I hate that picture because it's literally my lowest. But I can't physically assist myself off the mat. But I took a picture of it because I knew like at some point that wouldn't be me anymore. Now I can pop up the mat and whatever, but I knew at that moment that needed to be recorded. And Candy's got stuff like that too, like talking about her first workout. Like, and they use that, right? They show like oh, I'm exhausted, and then she's saying I can't in the video, right? Like to the camera, and she's like, I can't do this. And those are really ugly moments maybe for us to see, but somebody else is seeing like that person did the same thing I did, right?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
were having that same experience of like, there's so many people have messaged me that also have autoimmune diseases, that also have eating addiction. And like, they're like, I'm feeling that same way, but I'm not seeing that, somebody say that, right? Like, and there's so many more of us that are experiencing those things, but nobody's wanting to put it out there because they don't want to look bad. But that might not be you down the line. You have to get there and do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's super true, because it's, when you go watch an inspirational video, which is great. I mean, it can give you a boost of motivation and confidence in that moment, but motivation doesn't carry you through a journey. It can get you going for a couple of days, but that's going to, dwindle down eventually. So when you get to crash course somebody's journey like that in 5 minutes and just see it from beginning to end, it's really easy to sit back and just be like, oh, well, they did it. And then it doesn't do anything to get you going. It's like everybody had a day one at some point. If you've went through a transformation, we've all been at day one at some point, and we were all in that moment. So the most important thing is documenting it 100%. There's nothing more rewarding than looking back on a video from a month ago or pictures from a month ago and seeing the difference of how you look or the way that you felt back then, the way that you're talking. The scale is great, but there's nothing more important and more beneficial than actually visualizing something like that. And that's why it's so important to document, because you can see that crash course that somebody did in 6 months, for the challenge case, or in Justin's case, just under these 2 years and everything. And it's incredible. But if you document that for yourself and you're building your own story, that will keep you going so much more than you could even imagine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, people, like a person that hasn't started yet, they're going to identify with you when you started. Like, there are people that identify with me saying I can't. And then they see me at the end and they go, that could be me. That's what I did with the Arthur video. I looked at Arthur like falling down, and I was like, wow, like if he's there and then at the end he's running, like I can be running, at the end of my, like when I'm getting into a better physical health. So it's just like, I think the motivation is one thing and the inspiring is one thing, but it's really the audience always does identify with the subject they're watching. And that's kind of where the, important part comes in of filming everything. Yeah.
And I was just thinking then, I wish when I first started the program, it was on the DVDs, and I had the written out book, and it tells you what workout to do on what day. Yeah, so energy. And I was just like, oh, I've done this so many times. I can do fat burner. So I moved fat burner forward like 4 days. And I'll never forget, I was in a hotel room, and 10 minutes into the workout, the room just started spinning. Everything went like starry. And I nearly passed out. God, I wish I had video of that. That would be amazing. So follow the program.
All right, guys. So we're going to start doing something new with our podcast. We're going to create a hype mix. And we want all of our previous guests to add one song to this that when you get on the mat and you're going to hit it harder than you've ever hit it. We want your song. Caitlin, did you think of a song to add to this? And if so, what is it? And we're going to add this. Boz, you're going to control the Apple Music one. Trav is going to make the Spotify one, and I'll carry Amazon. And then Tom's handling Pandora.
No, I'm going to make a mixtape for everybody on a cassette.
Oh, Tom's making a mixtape.
Perfect.
We'll
Hey,
get that
Caitlin,
right.
Yeah.
what's your track?
So I am this is gonna be real divisive. I am a diehard My Chemical Romance fan. It's my favorite band of all time. Like my entire wall, it's like their vinyls and everything. So I gotta do Welcome to the Black Parade, because like if you don't, that doesn't hype you up. I thought about I'm Not Okay, also classic, but yeah. Welcome to the Black Parade. Well, like it builds and builds. It's slow at first. Give it time if you haven't listened to it before, but by the end of it, you will be ready to go.
Okay, Scotty, what do you got?
So I could easily throw out a million metal songs, but I'm going to go classic on this because I love jamming old school music sometimes. So I'm going to throw out Long Tall Sally by Little Richard, because there is nothing more pump up than Predator when they're coming down in that chopper and they're pumping Little Richard. So
yeah,
Long Tall Sally, baby.
All right. Candy?
I gotta go Slayer because I just have to.
Fucking
so
do
I'm
it.
going, I gotta go Angel of Death, man. That
Okay.
song is
nice.
epic.
And Dobbins?
Man, I'm going to get made fun of for this, but Saint Shamrock knows where I'm going with this. This song called Right to It. It's by Louis the Child. It's kind of upbeat, kind of bubbly fun, but it's a good one to dance to at the beginning of the deal. And it's, I mean, if you want to add one, that's what Travis and I are usually blaring at the beginning of the workout. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Oz, what are you adding?
I've got to think, like, moments of ultimate pump up, and it's got to be the time I taught on the stage. So it's got to be Slipknot, and it's got to be Duality.
Fantastic.
Nice choice.
Awesome choice.
Tom?
What's the name of that? Because I'm not a Slipknot fan.
Duality.
Somebody mentioned Dio earlier, so I'm going to go with Killswitch Engage version of Holy Diver.
Dude.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
I love that.
So good.
So my best friend thought it was Holy Tiger for the longest time.
Got friends. Still thinks it does. All right, Travis, what are you adding?
I'm going with Meatloaf, Paradise by the Dashboard Light. I love
Yes!
Yes! I love it.
That is actually on my DDPY playlist as a class member request.
So you guys all went rock, but I'm going to go with, almost rock. I'm going to go with Run the Jewels, Legend Has It, because Killer Mike and LP get me hype as fuck, and they're very, very good, conscious people. So
I was going to throw out WAP, but I didn't feel like this was the crowd for it.
Hey, why the hell not? I do want to
This
say
is the podcast for it.
Caitlin, I would have went with The Vampires Will Never Hurt You by MCR.
Oh, wow, that's some deep track. Oh,
hey, back on Eyeball Records. I like their early stuff. That's right.
I'm so excited. Sorry.
Hey, you know we said, is there any song that Leo won't cover? He did WAP. He did it.
Yeah.
It's done. Yeah, it happened. So.
Absolutely.
I don't know any Run the Jewels music, but I know that they were playable characters in Gears of War 4, and that's all I know.
That was the New Day, isn't it? Yeah, New Day's on there too. So
yeah.
No, that's awesome. And then we'll reach out to all of our previous guests, and we'll build a list. And it sounds like it's going to be ugly, and you're awesome. So this should be fun. Nothing like going from
Tina will have
MCR
something
to
lovely.
Dio
It'll balance. Tina's gonna have something beautiful.
Oh yes.
Oh, exactly.
I'm going to convince Tina to go with my first pick because I just vetoed it. So I'll get her to do "I'm a Dog and I Like Socks" by Psycho Stick.
So this is number 2. Do I get 2 songs?
You do.
Oh.
Ooh.
No, actually, no. Bullshit. No. We're taking Elise's. Elise was on your episode. She gets to pick.
Yay.
Well, my second song, if you want to add on to this shit show, would be "Heat" by 50 Cent.
Okay. I'm good with
that. One gets me pumped for so throw that one on there. "Heat" by 50 Cent.
All right. So this could be fun. This could be.
And just to let you guys know, I played nice because in the beginning of the conversation, how Ryan, you said I'm a jam band fan. I didn't pick a jam band, which is typically 20 to 25 minute long songs. So
yeah, it's like it's got a 6-song playlist, but it's 4.5 hours.
So Dave Matthews, you're like a Dave Matthews fan, right?
Well,
like
you picked the next closest song.
All right, guys.
It'd be like 4 songs though, can't there? Because there's like Raspberry Jam, Blackberry Jam.
You can't dad joke without a kid, man. That doesn't count. Okay, so every episode we always ask a fistfight question. So I've got this one for you guys. I need to know who is going to win in a fistfight. The Unstoppable 4 or
the Unstoppable
Diamond Dallas Page, Paige McMahon, Lexi Nair, and Garrett Sakahara.
Ooh, the Unstoppable 4.
He fights dirty.
Unstoppable 4, easy.
Oh, yeah.
Easy. Justin would take DDP. I could see it already. I saw it.
Okay. Then Candy, who do you got? If Justin's on Dallas, who are you taking?
Oh, me. I'm sorry. Well, I guess we gotta go by age, so I guess I'd have to take Paige on.
Okay.
That means
Scotty?
I'm snapping Lexi like a twig.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
And Scotty and Team Red Headband, man. I'd watch out.
I'll throw Garrett's ass up in a torture rack, and I'll diamond cutter him right out of that torture rack.
I've been in a diamond and I look scared. So
He's
got a smile on his face.
Quite today.
I'm actually quite comfortable.
I've never seen Dallas have to climb up on a ladder to put anybody in a damn diamond cutter.
Or like when you did the diamond.
Who are you taking in that fight? Who are you taking?
Me?
Yeah.
Who would I pick?
Yeah.
I'd have to like test my metal against Dallas, I think.
No, of the people I mentioned, I'm not asking if you're gonna fist fight
Who are
Dallas.
you putting your money on? That's what he's asking.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was getting a go for once. I got all excited. And only
He's
if I
like, I'm
could
kicking
use-
his ass.
And only if I could use a lightsaber, so that's not a thing. So, what? Who's my money on?
Yeah.
Garrett, all the way. Sorry.
Okay.
Dude fights dirty. You can't be underestimated. Sorry.
And Tom?
Taking all four of you guys.
There it is.
That's
Destroy
the
'em.
right bet.
Travis.
Right bet.
I'm going Unstoppable 4. You guys can use your new logo here. There's your U and there's your 4. So
Oh,
Hey!
Yes.
But
do we
people
got to
are
pay
like, why is it
royalties?
We better copyright that quick.
Yeah.
my money's on Scotty and Garrett just leaving. Just hanging out, talking some
Go and
shit.
get a beer.
Probably, yeah.
I'm going to tickle fight the right now.
Tickle fight.
I can get down with that.
I could definitely see that happening.
Nothing wrong with a couple of bears having a good time.
That's right. Okay, so at this point, normally we go into Tom's nutrition segment. I don't know if you watched last week. Oh, you got this.
Oh,
Time real Thomas, 4 5-year-old questions.
Oh
today.
boy.
So I'm going to go candy first. This is a question from 5-year-old me.
Okay.
What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Milky Way.
Awesome. Scotty, is BB-8 a boy or a girl?
Wow. He's a BB-8 is a droid.
Well, is it a boy or a girl? A 5-year-old boy. We need to know these answers.
Oh my gosh, I don't-
androgynous.
Gender non-conforming.
Yeah, I don't know the gender specifics of BB-8's blips, so I'm gonna go right down the middle on that.
Good answer.
I mean,
Justin-
it's arguable that C-3PO is a boy, yes. So
Well,
even
I
as
mean, Anthony Daniels is a boy, so
right, and I believe BB-8's voice actor is a girl, though. Correct? The who did the beeps? So
yeah, that I don't know actually.
I hope I impressed you guys with that question because I don't know anything about Star Wars. JD, I'm 5-year-old Tom. I want to be big and strong like you. What's your best piece of advice? A 5-year-old kid.
Eat a lot of meat and work out.
Well, wonderful. And now, Miss Caitlin, is this your mommy?
Oh my God, get bent.
for those of you listening, he showed the
I wanna
Wendy's
see
logo.
The cage match.
Okay.
I wanna see that cage match.
I'm sorry, at least you didn't bring out the K Jewelers. That you were like you had like a modicum of originality, but not really.
5-year-old Tom, stop giving me shit.
I think that's the first time a 5-year-old got cussed out on our.
I've got a follow-up from 5-year-old Ryan. What does get bent mean?
Is that a yoga term?
Yes, I mean you want to bend over in yoga, yeah.
Fair enough.
Is that
So,
where the
do you guys
jock
wanna
straps
stick-
come in?
Yeah. Do you guys want to stick around for Tom's nutrition segment, even though he just pissed you off?
Sure. I have nothing to do.
All right, fantastic. Foz, take it away.
Fantastic. Yeah. So after Tom's success with the multi-level marketing thing, last week the feedback was huge. So Tom, we got the segment this week. We're calling it the Magic Pill. So Tom, one question: is there a magic weight loss pill?
No. Back to you, boss.
So that was Tom's nutrition segment, the Magic Pill. Thank you. Thanks for sticking around, you guys. Really appreciate it. So might be the shortest one yet.
How long did you take to research that, Tom?
Hours. So you guys know, I literally spent hours on these things, and that was very good.
That was all in the science right there.
Science
It's
and
science,
logic.
bitches.
That's amazing. So, obviously, guys, thanks so much for joining us. Hopefully, the Boz is going to have a hell of a time editing, lots of talking over, but we really appreciate you taking the time. Here's where we pretty much give everybody a chance to shoot us an email at hitthematpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us at Better Hit the Mat Podcast on all socials. Do you guys want to go ahead and plug all of your stuff? We'll obviously link it as well.
Oh,
there you go.
I just what do you? Oh my gosh, it caught me off guard.
Instagram is at Candy Rotten. Something like
yes, Candy_Rotten is my Instagram. Candi McCarthy Herndon on Facebook, and I'm running a contest to give 3 people a year subscription to the app and a heart rate monitor for anybody that needs it. So just come to my Facebook page for all the rules and details and whatnot.
Good on you for that.
So mine is at The Deadly Love on Instagram, and also you can follow me on there. But our Unstoppable 4 page is now on Instagram and Facebook. The 4 in the word unstoppable, it's the number 4 at the A, so just make sure you replace that. And my Warrior Women has some stuff planned, so stay tuned for that. Look at that on the DDP Yoga page.
Scotty.
Cool. Yeah. So Unstoppable 4, of course, and Instagram is at Scotty Bootz.
And I've got to mention it because he's wearing the hat. He's wearing the hat. I can't let it go. What does the hat stand for, Scotty?
Oh, yeah. So if you guys want to kind of see what I do, hopefully for career mode here soon, but Nerf Herder Studios is my film production company that me and my buddy do, and we do horror shorts and
Did you say
a lot
Nerf
of fun stuff
Herder?
over there. Nerf Herder Studios, yeah.
Like the
Nice.
people that made the intro song for Buffy the Vampire Slayer? You know?
Not the same,
Nerf
that's what I
Herder.
thought.
Yeah, I mean, they're a band.
Tom, that's a Star Wars reference.
Yeah, mine's better.
And Dobbins, where can they find you?
Mine's at Dobbins JW at Instagram, or Justin Dobbins on Facebook, and then we've got the Unstoppable 4 Facebook page. And then also the 3 winners that Candy picks out, we're also going to give them one of our Unstoppable 4 shirts too.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
All right,
And
Boz,
just
you
in
want to plug your
case-
stuff?
Just in case you weren't familiar or sure what the logo looks like. Love it.
What?
Hey, Boz, is there any proof that you were playing drums for that?
You've seen the video. Shut up.
I saw it.
Right. Not my finest moment.
It was fun to watch. It was good.
No one show that to Pantera, please. Anyway, so yeah, oh shit. Back on Track Living. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook. Facebook, if you want to do the workouts, you get a live free one on a Monday, and all the details of other stuff are in there. And I think you'll find while we were recording this show, we just released on Facebook links on how you can finally get a Back on Track t-shirt with our awesome logo.
Ooh, beautiful. Beautiful. Can't wait to wear one. Awesome.
Tom.
All right. You can find me at beunstoppableathletics.com for all my coaching services. Be Unstoppable Athletics on Facebook. Project Mayhem on Facebook. We're teaching live classes. Sarah Fortune and I are bringing blood flow restriction training to Project Mayhem. So keep your eye out for that. Yeah.
All right. You can find me over at Instagram at The Real Shamrock Fitness. You can find me on Facebook at Shamrock Fitness, a DDPY experience. Yes, hashtag ShamFam. Also, you can find me over at transitioncoach.ca along with Dr. Marcel Dore and Kristen Nava, where we host 15 classes a week there. And stay tuned, sneak peek for Smitty'sRun.com. SmittyysRun.com.
Teaser.
And you can always find me at Burn the Boats Fitness on Instagram. I'm going to be running a live workout from a rowboat, so I can say I did it first. So stay tuned for that.
Hey, can we say one more thing? I forgot to mention, like, way back when, the chick had a sexy voice from the last podcast. So when am I going to read the bedtime story for BTTR? What was that book? Shut the fuck up and go to sleep or something?
Whenever you want, man. Let's go.
Have a perfect active recovery series would be perfect for that. So
I actually want to write it. I just haven't had time, but I'd really like to write it myself.
Well, hey, get up and I'll record it.
I think I threatened that weeks ago and it just never happened. Sorry, guys. So,
yes, that'll be fantastic, and we will put it out there.
Yes. By the way, like, I don't know if you see Ryan's t-shirt here. He just has the best t-shirt designs. Actually, it does just down selling mine. But I love that layout you've got on today, buddy. To show people.
Stacked.
Look at that. You could have one of those if you wanted. Shameless.
It's
This
true.
is shameless. So, guys, we cannot thank you enough for joining us. It's been lovely to meet you, sort of person to person, virtually, and hopefully one day we'll be in the same room. So, just remains for us to say and finish the show as we always do. Pick up your glasses, your chalices, your growlers, whatever you're working with. And cheers.
Cheers. Hit the mat.
Hit the mat.
Oh yeah, hit the mat.
Better Hit the Mat podcast.
You know what is a good thing though? When I fuck up like this at the beginning, it's a really good prompt for me to go, oh, I should probably click record as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's Justin shit talking me. He said, I put a thing on, I'll send a link just before the show, blah, blah, blah. And he put, all I heard is, we'll send a link, nerd talk, blah, blah, blah. And I said, $5 says that you're the one who can't get in when it comes to it. And he's just sent a message saying, is the link working? We got a mouthful, sorry.
Hey, I'm literally decided to put a little bit of peanut butter because y'all be keeping this at during my food time. So, you know.
That's why I drink a smoothie the entire episode.
Yeah.
Just because you put ice in whiskey and Coke does not fucking make it a smoothie.
Right? Tomato, tomato, pal.
Smoother.
Tomato, tomato.
There he is. Hello.
Welcome to the shit show.
What's up?
Hey, Lavinia, when you watch this, I will totally yell at him. You just let me know.
That'll be a new part of the show. Lavinia yells at boss through Ryan.
That'd be a great segment. Okay, well that's fine. I already know. We already know what your song is.
What?
What?
What's my song?
Your song is "Can't Stop the Feeling" from the Troll soundtrack, obviously.
Do you want me to Do you want me to strip for you now or later? Because I'm prepared to take my pants off for you this time.
We want to keep it on camera, pal.
Okay.
We want
All
to hear this.
But how is it? What BTTR, man?
Yeah, I know, but yeah, okay, fine. Mr. Producer, sir.
I'm usually
Nailed it.
standing in the back looking like a moron.
You do it so well, my friend. So well.
You got to do something. Strive for third, baby. Strive for third.
I gotta tell you, you're number one.
What? What?
I love you, Tom.
Hey guys, real quick though, it's a two-part question leading up to this. With the
So I
new
didn't finish mine,
challenge.
it's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry, Boz. Go ahead.
Yeah, Boz had something. I interrupted him earlier. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry, Boz.
It's all right.
Do we need a talking
Tell me
stick?
Yeah, I have a teddy bear.
And that's a wrap. So feel free to shit talk anybody you want right now, so we can clip it and send it to you.
That's a tradition.
Fuck all you! Bunch of suckers!
Back in the day, podcasting, people just say, yeah, we got 16 guests. I'm like, it's going to be a shit show. And that's audio, right? If you can't see each other, you're not recording on video. It's honestly, the talkovers are horrendous. And I know people who do a podcast, there's fucking 2 of them, and they cannot get their shit together to not talk over each other. So to have 8 people not do it too often, I think, self-high five.
Welcome to the shit show.
Hey, real quick, guys. I had some students ask me for a class tonight, and I haven't worked out yet. So if you're interested, I'm doing a 9 o'clock workout Zoom. If you guys want to,
You know, I can't eat before I work out, and I need warning because now I'm not going to eat till 10 p.m. But I'll be there. You know I will be. Damn it! I gotta go eat some peanut butter.
That was so easy. That was so easy.
Do the work. Document everything.
Hashtag boss bitch.